Hi everybody. Let us see the meaning of Memorandum of Understanding and its various classes today. I am Dr. M. Vijay Kumar, Professor and Head, Department of Management Studies, K.S.Rangasamy College of Technology, Tiruchendur. So, if you take any company, there are basically three legal documents which are available, which is very important. The documents are Memorandum of Understanding, Articles of Association, and Prospectus. So in this lecture, we'll see more about Memorandum of Association. It's a public document, and every person who deals with the company is perceived to have sufficient knowledge of the contents and provisions. So from this, we can understand that the Memorandum of Understanding is every person who is involved in the company, they should have a sufficient knowledge about the contents and provisions which is in the Memorandum of Understanding. Let us see that. So what is a Memorandum of Understanding? It is one of the basic documents of a company, and you can call it as a charter of a company, where all the information about the company will be there. It sets out the limits outside which the company cannot go. So it says that you cannot go beyond this, outside. So Memorandum of Understanding defines a constitution of a company. It gives answer for everybody. It is like a constitution of a company. So it contains a fundamental condition upon which company is registered. What is the conditions agreed upon by persons who are involved in the company for which a company is being registered. So it is a fundamental conditions which is available in this document. Why you need to have this document in a company? As I told you before, it is a constitution of a company. You need to know for various aspects. So whether should I go for it or not, like that, it gives a guidelines. That is a constitution like document in a company, and it is a charter which defines the limitation of a power of a company established under. So where you cannot have the power, where you do not have the power, that kind of things which is available in this document. So it defines the limitation of a power of a company, and it contains a fundamental condition upon which a company must be incorporated, and it determines the power, objects, limits of the company. So what is the power? What is the objective of forming the company? What is the limitations of the company in terms of the power? This is the purpose for which a Memorandum of Association is being formed. Let us see the various class of MOA, that is a Memorandum of Understanding. Association or subscription class, name class, registered class, object class, liability class, capital class, association or subscription class. Let us see the class one by one. Name class. The memorandum shall state the name of the company with the word limited or private limited. So you should have in this class whether it is a limited company or private limited company. That information will be there. Similarly, registered office class, where this is also known as domicile class. Under the following class, the part of the company is mentioned in which registered office of the company is being situated. Where the registered office is situated, that information will be there in this class. Because you may have the operation all over a country, but you may have a registered office in one particular location. So that information has to be given in this class, that is a registered office class. Object class, it is a major portion of a Memorandum of Association. It contains what are the main objectives of the company, what for you have formed a company. That means objects which a company will undertake in the future also should be available in this document. As of now, this is the objective of your company in the present scenario, but in the future, what are all the objects you will be undertaking in the future? That information should also be there in the class, as a company cannot go beyond the objects mentioned in its memorandum. So any ideas that a company can undertake in the future should also be included in this object class. So whatever you have mentioned in this class, you cannot deviate in the future. So if you have an idea to do some other objects, some other objectives in the future, that should be mentioned even now itself while registering. That is about object class. Then liability class. This class defines the extent of liability a member of each member. So what is the liability? If you are starting the business, if anything goes wrong, what is your liability for each member? That information will be there in this class. It states the liability of a member is limited. Okay, it is not unlimited. I mean, it is only limited. The liability of the member is unlimited or limited to the guarantee given by the member. It depends upon whether it is limited or unlimited. That is basically based on the guarantee given by the each member while starting the company. Then there is another class that is important class, that is a capital class. The capital class is applicable for a company which has some share capital. It mentions amount of share capital with which the company gets registered. What is the capital in which you are starting the company? That information should be available in this class. What is the number of shares? How many number of shares you are issuing? That information should also be there. Similarly, what is the nominal value of each share? Whether it is a 1 rupee face value or 5 rupee face value or 10 rupee face value. That information should also be there in this class. Then the next class is about subscription class. This class provides that those who have agreed to subscribe the memorandum must signify the willingness to associate and form a company. So if you are agreed to subscribe the memorandum, should satisfy your willingness. You should express your willingness to as part of the company. That memorandum of a company limited by shares and a company limited by guarantee, each shall contain different statements. If your company is limited by shares, you will be having a different subscription category class, and if your company limited by guarantee, you will have a different statements. So you should mention whether it is limited by shares or limited by guarantee. Accordingly, the statement should be there. So thanks for watching. Keep learning and growing.